Yeah, he's not the kind of guy who usually calls for a casual chat. And when he does, when we do talk, he doesn't really go too much around feeling. So when my friend called me and he was crying, you can imagine it got my attention. I said, "What's going on?" And he just said, "Do you mind if I come down and spend some time with you?" "Absolutely, come on down." He came, he arrived. We went for a little walk and we sat by the water, and he told me that he had just been diagnosed with a particular form of cancer. Pretty devastating. He is married and been married for a long time and has a young daughter who obviously he loves very, very much. And suddenly his mortality was real. Suddenly he was faced with the reality that he might be leaving without, not voluntarily, but he might be leaving his wife and his kid. And we began to talk about life, and we began to talk about the possibility that this in fact was a terminal diagnosis, which is what it looked like. And he asked me my thoughts, and I said this, and this is what I want to share with you. I asked him, what's the worst case scenario? And he said, well, that I've got 6 to 12 months, maybe 24 months to live. And I said, okay, now let's just pretend for a moment that that's the prognosis. He goes, okay. I go, what do you do? Now he's a business person, he's successful in business, and he's done pretty good. I said, what do you do? He said, honestly, he goes, I sell a house, and we go travel for a year. He goes, all of us just, I take my daughter out of school, we just go travel for a year. Her education is being with us and exploring the world and exploring other cultures. I said, okay, that's if the worst case scenario happens. And he said, yeah. I said, here's the thing I want you to look at. Your highest values come to the surface when you're faced with your mortality. And he goes, uh-huh. I said, so why wouldn't you put your worst case scenario, your best case of how to deal with the worst case scenario into your life today? Why would you wait for a worst case scenario in order to do that? Why wouldn't you simply say, okay? And he's like, wow, I never thought about that. And here's the thing that I want to share with you as you're listening, as you're watching this, is maybe that's the answer for all of us. Instead of waiting until that God in a white coat gives us a horrible diagnosis and said, you're done, life is over, maybe we should stop and say, okay, a minute, hold on, what if you have got 24 hours to live? No, 24 months to live, I apologize. Imagine you got 24 months to live. Imagine you're sitting down with a doctor who says, you have got 24 months to live. Now, what are you going to do? Because I'll tell you, if you write that out, you will come to what matters most to you. You will come to, well, here's what I'm going to do. What if you decided to live that way? Because we're constantly putting our life on hold. We're going to do it when we get to this. I'll be happy when is this horrible recipe for not living your life. Here's the news, and I want you to get this. You have a terrible terminal illness. It's called mortality. You are going to die. That's what's going to happen. Your life is going to end. And you keep pushing it out further and further away from you, thinking that it's not. Hoping that it's not, knowing intellectually, of course, but emotionally not allowing yourself to connect with that. But if you allow yourself to connect to the fact that you are going to die, then you can examine what really matters to me. What do I need to do now, today? And live your life from that place. So stay curious, my friend. Stay curious about how you would live. What would be your values that would push you into action? If you knew you only had 24 months to live, you were going to be gone within 2 years. My name is Dov Baron, and I'm the founder of FullMontyLeadership.com. And I'm asking you to stay curious about what would happen if you were diagnosed with a terminal illness.